Alright, so for this third and final segment of this piecewise function, the rule, if we look at this n here, that endpoint, that is positive 2, and then the other endpoint is 6. Right? And so our x is going to, we have to choose an x anywhere between 2 and 6, but because this endpoint at 2 is open, then that means that we're going to have a less than sign. It's strictly, x has to be strictly larger than 2. And then at the endpoint where there's a 6, then there's a closed circle, so it's less than or equal to. So the way you read this is that x is greater than 2 and less than or equal to positive 6. Now for the rule, I guess our third rule, let's first find the slope. And as I look at this segment and I go, as I'm moving from left to right, it's going up. So it has a positive slope. So that means that I'm going to have a positive value, but now I need to pick a point that let's see, I can start on this segment right here, and I have to determine what is my rise value over my run value. How many steps do I need to go up? So if I go up 1, put this on top, and then how many steps do I go over? 1, 2. So that's my bottom. And I could do this, I could have started at this endpoint here where I start here, and I go up 1 and then over 2. I still get the same thing. So I have a slope of 1/2, and then now to figure out the rest of this rule, I can use the point slope formula. So I'll pick a point, let's see, I'll pick a point, this endpoint here, positive 6, comma, negative 2. And let me set this up. Let's see, y minus negative 2 equal to 1/2 times quantity x minus 6. Okay, so let's simplify this. So I get y plus 2 on the left side equals to, distribute the 1/2 x minus 3. Okay? So then when I move the 2 to subtract 2 from both sides, I end up with y equal to 1/2 x minus 5. So there it is. There's our rule. Now we don't have to write the y equal into our rule because it's inside of this piecewise function, the f of x equal to. So all we need is just the 1/2 x minus 5, and this tells us that we have a slope of 1/2, and if this segment was to continue to be extended in the negative infinity direction, eventually I would cross the y-intercept at negative 5. But because I'm only choosing x values between positive 2 that are greater than positive 2 and less than or equal to 6, I'm only going to get the segment that appears here.